Hey everyone, day number 15. We're about halfway there, not about, but we are halfway there towards Rosh Hashanah, towards our 30 days. Hope you enjoy today's message and have a wonderful day. Here we go. Sometimes I feel like when it comes to religion, especially in the English language, we need to really invent new language, because so much of the language that we have is really comes with a lot of baggage if we understand what the words mean, and it creates a certain feeling that isn't necessarily good for us or even true if one looks at the original words in the Hebrew. Like, for example, the word prayer means to beg or to grovel. And so if one understands that that's what the word prayer means, and they consider prayer to be begging or groveling, it's not a very empowering feeling. But I don't want to talk about prayer right now. I want to talk about another word, and that's the English word sin. When you think of yourself as committing a sin, or you see yourself as a sinner, it's a very, very heavy word with a lot of baggage, and can make a person feel so badly about themselves, so mired in sin, they can never correct their mistake and get themselves back on track or away from sinning, or to stop this feeling of being a sinner. So I want to introduce to you, for those who speak Hebrew, it'll be a little bit easier. Those who don't, that's also fine. You'll get it. But introduce to you a couple of words that are used in Hebrew for sin that don't mean sin at all. So, for example, the Hebrew word for sin very commonly used is the word chet, right? It's spelled in Hebrew, chet, tet, aleph, chet. But the word chet does not translate literally as sin. It literally means to miss. So, for example, in modern day Hebrew, if you're watching a basketball game and someone is shooting, say, a free throw, and he misses the shot, they'll say chet. Right? If you're shooting at a target and you miss the target, they'll say hechteta, you have missed. So the word for sin that's used in Hebrew is to miss. The second word, aveira, a very common word. The root of the word aveira, which is spelled ayin vet resh he, is ayin vet resh. That's the root. And the word aveira means la'avor, means to go over, to pass. As if you're driving on the highway and there's an exit and you have passed your exit. Now, it's very important, these words, to understand what they literally mean. This is not simply just a nice idea or a nice little play on words, but this is the essence of what it means, quote unquote, to sin, which is a terrible word. It really means when you've done something wrong, when you've done something not in consonance with God's will, you have missed the mark, or you've passed by where the location where you're supposed to be, and so you need to turn around, you need to fix, you need to get to redirect. It's very different feeling than that idea that someone is a sinner. The Talmud says something very powerful. It says, "Ein adam omed al divrei Torah, ela imkein nichshal bo." A person can never really come close to the words of the Torah, to God's word, unless you have nichshal bo. It's a very powerful idea. Unless you have failed in them, unless you've stumbled over them. And this is the idea. It's a very powerful concept. When a person misses, so then they understand what's necessary to get back on track. When a person passes the exit, then they realize, oh, I was supposed to be there. It's not that they're a sinner. Rather, they have to look at their failure merely as a step in their success. It's all part of being on a large path. One is never off the path. You just sometimes miss the turn. And this is a very important idea. I was talking to a woman the other day, and she says to me, I used to be a very observant person, a religious person, but now I'm off the path. So I said to her, it's not true. You're not off the path. The path is very wide. You just maybe missed the exit, and you need to just redirect the path. You're never fully off the path. And there's a very, very powerful verse. It says, Sheva yipol tzadik vikam. A righteous person falls, They fall 7 times and they get up. What makes them righteous? By virtue of the fact that even after they fail, they're able to get up again, not to see themselves as a sinner, one who cannot fix, but rather they're someone who's simply missed. They missed the point and they have to get back to where they need to be. And that kind of person that never gives up on themselves, this is someone who's referred to in the Bible as a tzaddik, as someone who's righteous. They fall 7 times, but after each time, they're able to dust themselves off. Now, I'll end with a very cute story, a true one, when a rabbi went to visit the famous Lubavitcher Rebbe, who was a great leader in the last generation, died about 20 years ago. And the Lubavitcher Rebbe asked him, he said, "What do you do for a living?" He says to him, "Well, I work in kiruv." Kiruv means to bring close, as if he's someone that what he does is he spends his time trying to bring people closer to God. So the Lubavitcher Rebbe looked at him and says, "I don't like that word kiruv." He says, "Because you don't know who's close and you don't know who's far. Only God knows that." And so the truth is, a person has to always feel that they're close. Not that they're a sinner, but that we all have things to fix. We've merely committed a chet. We've missed the mark, or we've passed by. We are not sinners. We are missers. And there's a big difference between the two. Well, there you have today's message, folks. As always, this is Rabbi Moshe Rothschild coming to you from the land of Israel, wishing you the deepest blessings. We go out with the music of Rabbi Shlomo Katz. Have a great day.